Hi Internet, welcome to my channel, and this is Learn Apart Together. Hi there once again, I'm Flex Tio, a polytechnic lecturer in Singapore who is an engineer by training, an educator by profession, and a rebel at heart. The Learn Apart Together live stream series is a way for my students and I to document our experiences about home-based learning through candid discussion and hard talks. Currently, we have done about 8 weeks worth of home-based learning lessons. We are also taking this chance to reach out to students and teachers who are feeling lost and stressed out with all this learn from home, teach from home thingy. So don't feel stressed because we are all in this together. Right, today, once again, I have two guests with me and I'm proud to have them with me. They are my students and I'd like to introduce the first one to you. So let's welcome Kai Jie into the live stream. Hi, Kai Jie.
Hi guys, this is Kai Jie here. I'm actually a student from DMIT. I'm a year 3 student specialized in IS. I actually love programming a lot. And yeah, I'm doing really great in school during this home-based learning. Hope to catch up with you during the stream.
Right, thank you, Kai Jie. Right, next I also have Adam, who is in the same class as Kai Jie. Let's welcome Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hello, I'm Adam. I'm an average student in year 3 with a love for learning. However, I do have a little bit of a bad habit I'll prefer to call learning while sleeping in classes. Thank you, Mr. Flex, for having me. I'm glad to be here.
All right, thank you so much for your time. And especially at this time, I'm also asking them to submit my project somewhere down the road. So it's very honored for them, for me to have them with me on this show. Right, we are going to start off with some very simple questions. And from there, we will discuss and see how it goes. So the very first thing that we're going to take a look is this. What are your initial thoughts and feelings when you first hear that we are doing home-based learning for like the entire of the first term? Right, anyone can start first.
I'll start first.
All right, sure.
Okay, so my initial thoughts about actually I feel very excited when I heard about home-based learning because like as an individual who always wake up late, then late for school, and then skip lectures. Like now there is this home-based learning, right? I don't even need to wake up early, don't need to travel to school. Then I can even sleep during lecture. How great is it, right?
Are you sure?
Yes, it's actually
Right.
but more importantly, I don't need to waste time to travel to school. Then I can spend the time to do better things like catching up on projects and all.
Yeah, and I think one interesting thing is, although Katia was saying that he needs to sleep and he will come late for school, he's actually been very on time during home-based learning. In fact, same goes for majority of my students. When it comes to home-based learning, what we observe is that they tend to be on time. So kudos on that. You can actually come on time. I guess it's really trying to be a morning person. A lot of our classes are very early. Right. Adam, any thoughts on your initial feelings about home-based learning?
Well, I feel like if I say this, there's a lot of people that's not gonna like me, but I need to share a little bit of a secret. The reason why most of us, or personally for me, why I kind of come to class on time, it's mostly because you can't really make an excuse anymore. You can't be like, oh, the bus was a little late. The train broke down. No, you can't say that anymore. Because you literally wake up, the computer's right there. Yeah, but my thoughts about home-based learning would be, I think if I remember right, at the start of school, the Nanyang Poly said it was going to be temporary. Right? It was going to be for the whole semester. It's going to be for at least until phase 1. Yeah. So
in fact, I think at that point in time, we all got quite a shock because everything happened quite successively, right?
yeah.
If I
Honestly, I felt a little bit bad because most of my daily exercises come from my commute to school, back and forth. So now I don't really exercise much. But I think end of the day, it was pretty cool. I get to sleep in more. I don't have to waste money buying concession pass or topping up my eSIM card.
Yeah, in fact, come to If I come to think of that, maybe we can chat about this. So in fact, you are talking about some of the more positive part about home-based learning. So maybe let us find some time to ponder on what do we think is the best part about home-based learning.
I guess I'll start first.
Yeah, go ahead.
One part I really like about home-based learning is that most of our online classes, right, you can only see us from like the neck up. So I don't really need to bother much about like my appearance, or I guess the clothing. I don't have to wear like proper pants. I can wear comfortable shorts. I can sit however I want, and the teacher can't really tell, you know.
Okay. So what are you wearing right now? Shorts, pants?
Well, I'm wearing proper proper shirt, yes, but I am wearing shorts underneath, so I do not want to stand up. No.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't mind telling you I'm actually wearing shorts below as well, despite the formality on top. Right. How about Kai Jie? What do you think is the best part about home-based learning?
Oh, okay. First of all, the best part of home-based learning for me, actually, there's two things. First of all, I actually get to, let's say I finish my work on time, then I get to Netflix while waiting for other students to finish, or actually I get to leave class earlier to have lunch. Then, second of all, I want to say, doing home-based learning, I get the opportunity to eat snacks. A lot of snacks. Like, I can just put my camera down like this, then I can just munch on snacks without the teacher catching me during lesson. Like, as you all may know that NYP school rules, right? You cannot eat and drink in school, in classes, in labs, in lectures. But now with this home-based learning, we get the opportunity to eat while studying. How great is it?
Yeah, in a way, for me, in my classes, I am okay with your snacking. To me, the snacking rule, or at least how I interpret the snacking rule, is this. In the lab, there's a lot of equipment. So if you are munching on a snack, let's say you drop bits on the floor, then that might invite vermins to come along. So generally but so long you are not having one big bowl of char kway teow, I don't see. I think it's all right to snack a bit, have a bit of food and comfort while having lessons, to make lessons a bit more enjoyable. So I thought, why not? Well, best part about home-based learning for me, I guess talking about like less time to commute and you get to sleep in later. Yes, I think that is also what is the best part for me. And in fact, when I other fellow lecturers, I think about 2 to 3 weeks into the home-based learning, we found something very interesting. Some of them don't need coffee anymore. So we used to like survive on coffee. We need coffee to start the day, but we no longer need coffee. So I think it makes us more awake during to deliver the lessons, because now we get actually more proper time to sleep. Is it the same for both of you as well?
More time to sleep.
Like,
Honestly,
do
right,
you feel more refreshed and
not really. Cause home-based learning, right? Because of being able to actually attend class as soon as you wake up, you just on Zoom without having to travel to school. It actually created a very bad habit for me. Like, for
okay.
instance, I always tend to Netflix until 5 a.m. and then I go to bed at 5:30.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after that I wake up for class at 9, which is really very unhealthy for me. Whereas back then, before we had home-based learning, I actually, I still sleep late, but I sleep around 2 to 3, which is earlier because I have to wake up to wash up earlier and to travel to school.
Okay. So I guess sort of your time become a bit mixed up because now there's no clear delineation
Yeah.
between like when is learning time and when is fun time. They are sort of all intermingled together, and that
Yeah.
can cause a little bit of stress.
For me, I'm
Yep.
definitely more awake. Good thing is I'm actually not sleeping in class anymore. Because my normal school schedule before home-based learning was I wake up 2 hours before the class time. So if class starts at 9, I'll wake up at 7. Because the first half an hour is to prepare to leave. The next hour is for travel. The last 30 minutes is for eating breakfast in school.
But I guess the flexibility of time is really something that is good with home-based learning. Or in fact, if those of you who are working from home, work from home do have some form of flexibility of time. Of course, I know that's a general statement. It's not going to work for everyone. But I guess generally there's a little bit more rubber for us to do this, hopefully. Okay, so I think those are definitely good points about home-based learning. Next, maybe let us talk a little bit into the learning itself, right? So we talk about what's good when we have rubber time, but what's also good in home-based learning that may not be as achievable in face-to-face class. What are some of your thoughts?
Sorry, is the question for home-based learning or face-to-face again?
Okay, the question is, so we talk about generally why home-based learning is good, and we talk a lot more about our habits. How about the actual learning itself? Is there any advantage in doing home-based learning as opposed to face-to-face? What might be some of the best parts?
I think this only for all I know, this only applies to Zoom, but there's actually a record function, so you can record the classes and then play it back to check what you missed. Like maybe because right now in home-based learning, sometimes especially during lunchtime, my parents will come in and they would tell me that the lunch is here, you can eat already, and then I would not pay attention, so I literally don't hear the lecturer speaking at that time. So with the record function, you can play it back to find out what you missed.
Okay. So it sounds like there are some challenges in home-based learning, but there are other functionalities that sort of compensate for such things. Like family distraction, I think we can't run away from family distractions because they are literally in the same place and things are no longer that clearly segregated. Yeah, how about Kai Jie, your thoughts about the actual learning itself? Is there any advantage in doing home-based learning or?
I would say actually for me, right? Okay, I give you a real life example that I actually experienced. Okay, for example, is during IoT lessons, I get to lie on my bed at the comfort of my bed. Then I can get to listen to lectures on my bed. It's something that I have been dreaming of about school. Like how great is it? Like you get to be at your comfort and then you get to study at the same time. But of course, there are also pros and cons to this lah. Which is will not be able to focus well, but still can catch up on some things. But to add on, like what Adam said, there's also a record function that is on the Zoom itself, so you can actually record and listen at the same time. So if let's say you have an assignment to do, you can actually look back on the record and then you can understand the lesson properly and apply it on the assignment itself.
Do you feel that you will get too comfortable if you are like sleeping and lying on bed and doing classes at the same time? So we try to imagine, let's say this is a face-to-face class, right? So instead of having lectures, chairs, you have a bunch of safari bed and everyone is like lying down and doing safari bed and listening to lesson. I mean, it's just a thought exercise. What if classes were done like that? Any thoughts?
I'm definitely gonna fall asleep. I'm saying 100% gonna fall asleep.
I would say we'll be distracted.
I think there will be one class that works very nicely, right? If you are running an astronomy class, so you got to see the stars. So then you want to mock up the situation whereby you are seeing the stars, so maybe you start lying around safari bed. That could be working, right?
It will work, but class would be like after dinner time, no?
Okay. All right. So I guess the record function definitely give you a chance to review. Otherwise, in a real face-to-face class, everything is running real time. So if you need to review, I guess the best way is to like knock on your friend's shoulder. It's like, hey, what did the lecturer just say? It's something to do with that. Yeah, maybe let us move on and explore a little bit more about other areas. Aside from live Zoom classes that we have, we also have something called pre-recorded lectures. These are mainly done for a large group. We pre-record some videos and we try to chunk them into small bite size so that you can watch them. Do you think those are useful as part of home-based learning? Maybe start with Kai Jie. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I would say it's actually very useful for me because like what I mentioned at the start, I'm actually an individual who loves to not attend lecture and just tap cut and out. But yeah, then I can actually now at the comfort of home and home-based learning, I get to review my lecture at any time of the day. Like for example, for me, there's one time where I went to a giant supermarket to purchase my groceries before my parents. I actually I spend the time to actually watch the lecture or even just listen to it. It's actually very very good for me lah, because I feel it's better for me in a way. Like when I want to do it, then I do it. I don't have to be forced to go to lecture when the time is up. Yeah.
Okay. So you actually do mobile learning. Yeah, in fact, I think a lot of my colleagues, the other lecturers were talking a lot about mobile learning. Mobile learning is the new way to go. And to be frank, I'm not that believer of mobile learning. When I learn, I need to write notes, and I find that it's difficult to write notes while you're on the go. But just like you found some way to do it lah, while queuing for groceries and all that. Interesting. How about Adam? Do you have any thoughts? Pre-recorded videos or lectures?
The pre-recorded videos, I definitely can't do those. It's every time. Okay, for some of my classes, the pre-recorded videos actually work because those classes they force me to stay on my desk itself because I have to use some of the programming programs. But my other classes that actually don't require you to use the programs, right? I just watch it on my bed and then I end up falling asleep. So I think what I'm trying to say is I need an authoritative figure or a teacher to be there to prevent my loss of motivation.
Okay. So the lecture video may still seem a bit cold, as in there's no external motivation. If we were to give you grades out of the lecture video, like if you watch and you get some points, would that sort of help with motivation? Just exploring.
I think that's a good point to think about. I think it might, because now that I'm thinking about it a bit more, I think the problem I have with the pre-recorded videos, right, is that it doesn't have. I'm not responsible to
Not responsible.
not responsible. What's that? Oh, I'm thinking of the word. Like I'm not. I don't have to be on my desk to watch it. I can be whenever. So I don't really feel that it's that important. Even though it's talked about really important our grades and all that.
Okay. I guess once again it's the blurring of line between where you are doing learning home based. Are you really learning, or is this supposed to be time at home? That sort of blurry feeling that comes in. Am I right to say that?
Then I end up watching on the bed and I end up falling asleep.
So over here, maybe let me just take a pause because I found a very interesting comment. Right, is with respect to Kai Jie saying that during the queue he was trying to watch lecture video, and we have our commenter here, Teeny TTT, and we're saying watching lecture at Giants, which is a supermarket in Singapore. Wonder how many of you do that. Right, actually, I'm very excited to find out how many people do that. So if you are watching this live stream right now, do type out at the comments over here. Do you think you can watch a lecture video while queuing for groceries or queuing for the bus? Or yeah, so do share with me. Can you do it or not? I'm sure this is something that will interest a lot of people. Then we see whether Kai Jie is the Superman that can actually learn on the go while the rest of us are lagging behind. Okay, so do take a look at that. All right. So over here, maybe let us move on to talk a little bit. So we talk a lot about the best part about home-based learning, but it seems that there's sort of a mixed review lah, whether is there really a best part. Maybe an easier question would be to ask would be, how about this? What is the one factor that you think limit us in terms of home-based learning?
Maybe I start off first.
Okay.
Okay, the one factor that I feel limits us in home-based learning is like, for example, for group projects, Like we won't get to have, for hands-on group project. It's very hard for us to actually discuss and apply the things that we need. Then cause for example in Zoom, right, in Zoom call we can only speak and we can't really do it. Like for IoT, we need to actually create the product itself and test it out. But we weren't able to do it because because of this COVID-19 situation. Then many things have been stopped. Then we are not able to go to school to use the devices provided for us.
So I guess practical is still a very big problem and a big issue. So
Yeah.
I guess a bit lucky for us because we are doing things like programming. So I was just wondering, your friends who are doing like chemistry. So imagine trying to do titration with, I don't know, detergent and whatever that is at home, vinegar. I don't know, maybe draw a couple of Mentos inside Coke. Would that count as chemistry? Actually, not quite sure. Also, no, yeah, I don't really understand that syllabus. But I guess trying to get the real feel with your hands, and I guess even being able to smell the chemical for you all will be being able to smell the Arduino get burned. That could be one possibility. And that's where home-based learning can't really substitute face-to-face. You got to have the actual equipment. In fact, come to think of it, what if we buy the Arduino and we send it to your house?
That would be great, but like what I said just now, if you buy the Arduino and send it to my house, that means only I can use it. Unless the government changes the law stating that we can hang out in other people's house and maybe for group project, then okay, sure, it'll be very good. But at the current situation now, the government bans us from visiting your friend's house, and if caught, then you'll be fined. So like, if one person is doing all the testing, then what's the point of a group project, right?
Okay,
like
I guess
yep.
Group project is still a big issue.
Also
How do you do group projects effectively? Although I guess that will sort of become a modern skill that every person needs to arm themselves. So be it on the bad side or on the bright side, I guess it depends on how we set our mindset. Interesting. How about Adam? Is there anything that limits you? What is this one factor that limits you in terms of home-based learning?
I think the best way to put it is the lack of human interaction. Because when I do, well, going back to the group project, right? I can only do group projects with people that I really like connect with, and it's hard to connect with someone who does not like turn on their camera, and you can't really see their emotions.
Okay.
I think this, if you go back on the live stream, right, you'll see I'm a very expressive person with my hands. So I tell how interested they are in a certain topic based on like their body language. So without the actually seeing the person, how they move and all that, I can't really tell their emotions. I don't know if they're invested in the idea or they really don't like the idea.
Does it help to just get your friends to on the webcam?
It does, but I'm also very shy, so I do not want to tell them to turn on their camera.
Okay.
I kind of throw some subtle hints. Hopefully they do it. If they don't, that's unlucky.
All right. So, fellow students who are part of the live stream, if you hear it from Adam, if you are doing group project with him, be sure to on that webcam. Yeah.
Actually,
and I will appeal to my students, please on the webcam. It's very lonely trying to teach like a radio DJ. You don't want to. Maybe next time what will happen is that I'm going to make everyone do a presentation and I'll ask everyone else to off webcam.
Oh no.
But anyway, those are side talks. Oh yeah, sorry, Kai-Jie, I think I
want to add on. So actually, as an individual who is very quite outspoken, and I love to mingle among my friends and like do life together. Without this, because of this home-based learning, it actually limits me lah. Then I wouldn't get to hang out with my friend that often and actually eat together and chit chat and do projects together, which I find it a very limiting factor also lah, because like friendship builds is through physical, not that type of physical touch, but like physical bonding, face-to-face bonding. Yeah. But given this home-based learning, you're only looking at the screen and they look at you on the screen. Then like I find it very sian. Like it's the same thing. It's all the same thing. You can't do other things. You're only limited to only Zoom and doing projects and just chit chat. That's all. You can't go out for games, for soccer, for badminton, or anything else.
And come to think of it, my own sort of experiences, because my friend tried to organize a lunch session, or is it dinner session over Zoom, can't quite remember. Then so he brought with him like Maggi noodles. Then so we on our webcam. Then we said, okay, that's a great idea. Then we realized when we start speaking to the mic, then it's like the biting sound and the slurping of the noodle sound is like, it's like, okay, sorry, I don't think this is going to work. Yeah. No, not sure whether you are okay with it, but after a while, it's like, do we really want to do that? So yeah lah, in a way, I guess I get you, I hear you, because let's say you go for Zoom classes, right? Then after that, the lesson end and the lecturer probably just end the Zoom meeting from there. So there's no there's very limited this sort of after class, oh, let's chit chat a bit, let's just talk about something else other than study. And that's actually how bond and trust are built. In fact, some of the other lecturers are also saying that that portion is missing, because usually after class we don't just knock off and go after class. We might stay around to help those students who need a bit more help, or we do stay around to chit chat a bit if we have the time. But this option is almost no longer existent, because we might be running for other Zoom classes, I guess, or it could be something else that's blocking the time, so not as accessible. Okay, right. So maybe with that, let us move on to the final question to talk about. So here, we have experienced about 8 weeks of home-based learning. This is the 9th week. It's called the holiday week. So you'll get 1 week pass. What do you all think about home-based learning?
And then we want to start first?
Yeah, sure. So for home-based learning, right, I'm more of an introverted person, so I don't really like go on my way to talk to people. So I really, really like this home-based learning a lot. I get to do a lot of things that I find comfort in. I get to study in my own speed, my own style. It's really great. But I'm also really missing the food at school. So I know. I also want home-based learning, but maybe shorter periods, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, and then the rest would be face-to-face school. I think that would be like the best one for me.
That's interesting. 1 to 2 weeks. Or what if it's like every Monday? I don't know.
1 day.
Yeah, because 1 to 2 weeks is also interesting. That means, let's say maybe we do 3 weeks of face-to-face. After that, the next 2 weeks is so far the school will say self-directed learning, e-learning, like one of those breaks that you usually have when the school got big events like open houses. We just dismiss use for self-directed learning. But this time around, it's a deliberate effort, because we think that it's important part of learning for you to try and learn by yourself and learn the part together. Things like that.
Right. Can I also add another point?
Mm-hmm.
I know the school right now is like considering some classes to be home-based learning and some classes to be face-to-face. I don't really know how that's gonna work. I really hope that does not happen, because it's gonna be kind of awkward. Your entire class go face-to-face for this one class, and your next class is Zoom, but you can't stay too close to each other because the audios will like overlap with each other, then you start distracting each other. That's not really a good system. I really hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, you are talking about, let's say half the class go back to school and then the other half continue to do home-based learning in that very same Zoom class.
No, it's like some modules become face to face. Like for example, our programming one become face to face, but like our GSMs are still Zoom lesson. It's gonna be quite hard to find space for yourself to enter the Zoom lesson if you're in school with every other person.
Okay. So for that, I think the school planning committee will have something in mind to allow everyone to have sufficient time to do lunch and travel to school. Yeah, minding the fact that it could take up to an hour to travel. I think that's a valid thing to talk about. How about Kai Jie? Now that you've gone through 8 weeks of home-based learning, do you want home-based learning for the rest of your life?
Okay. Back before I had this home-based learning, I was really excited. Like what I said, like I'm really excited to actually have home-based learning, because as an individual who doesn't love to travel to school early in the morning, and wake up so early just to prepare myself for school. But after these 8 weeks of lessons, right, I really regret my sentence, because like honestly, home-based learning itself is just nonsense, because we can't really focus well in class. And for me, I'm not very effective. My thinking and processing at home is not very good, because it's more of a place. A home is a place for comfort and to let you enjoy your bed and sleep and repeat. Yeah, but if you add on studying at home, I think it will not be as effective as in school, in a way. And also, like what I say, also I'm actually an outspoken person, and I love to hang out with my friends a lot. But given this home-based learning situation, we're not able to hang out with my friends. Then I feel very bored. Like let's say you finish your Netflix series, you finish your YouTube and everything, then you just scroll through Instagram and scroll, and there's nobody posting anything, because everyone is stuck at home. There's nothing to do. So like life gets boring. It's like a cycle. Eat, sleep, repeat, study. Yeah. Then it really sucks.
Yeah.
Then also not able to go out and eat good food. Wow, legit. I miss all the good food in school. Like mala, then the what you call that? Mala, and many more things. And also all the restaurants, high class restaurants. I used to always go there, but now home-based learning and COVID-19, no way.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that sort of it's definitely something that affects everyone. Even from a lecturer point of view, 100% home-based learning is not going to be effective. But of course, we also recognize that this is probably something that's extraordinary. We never had a case that we need to do this before, a case where all the human beings are just escaping from each other. Talk about a zombie disaster, and we are having a COVID disaster over here, which looks like a zombie sort of movie for one part. Okay. Yeah. Any final words from Kai Jie and Adam?
Good luck to the planning department, the NYP planning.
They've been working very hard. I think even over the weekends, right now as we are speaking over live stream, they are still working out on the timetable. Yeah. So I guess this is where you also see work from home, no night, no day, no weekend. But I guess it can't be helped. It's really a different sort of world we are facing right now.
Actually, I'd like to add on, like
Yes.
for me, right? Because given this COVID-19 situation, actually, I kind of also love home-based learning, because I get to improve on my personal skills, like let's say cooking skills. Then I get to build on my own discipline, like wake up on time for lesson and everything. And also, what is it called? Like I get to explore online. Because now, given this COVID-19 situation, they actually have online businesses courses that you can actually seminars to attend to. Then you get to build your own skills on it, basically to expand your knowledge and read up on news article, which I don't usually read during school hours, because I don't have the time to read, because I always slack in school. I hang out with my friends, then do project, and that's my life. But now, given this situation, I get to do all this to improve on my own life skills, to prepare me for future jobs and society.
And I think that's something that's extremely important. Yeah, and if we can make full use of the time when everyone is sort of moving downwards and we are improving ourselves, I think we will rise up a lot better than the rest who didn't seize the moment. I can't remember who was that says, but never waste a crisis. Crisis is an opportunity. And if you
Opportunity.
can
Yeah.
find opportunity in that, I think that would say a lot about how we chart our future directions and where we could potentially end up the next time. Okay, with that, I think I will close today's live stream. I want to thank the time from Kai Jie and Adam once again. Thank you for your time to come and chat with me regarding home-based learning. So for now, once again, if you are a student or a teacher who is lost or stressed out with all this learning and teaching at home thingy, we want to let you know that we are actually all in this together. If you find this sharing to be helpful, please feel free to share, comment, and if you want to catch out when our live stream is and get reminded, do remember to smash the subscribe button. Right, for now, this is all, and thank you. Let's
Actually,
learn
Mr.
about.
Flex, I got something to add
Yes,
on. Actually,
yes.
if you guys would like to see me, Adam and I for the next live stream, please do give a thumbs up. And if the likes reaches 20 likes, we will be on the next live stream.
He's saying
All right.
He's saying
Adam, come, let's go together.
I'm fine with not being in front of a crowd. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the advertising. And until then, this is Learn Apart Together, and we'll see you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.